Vikings. I'm blanking on your name right
That's
now.
okay.
Sorry.
Coach Angela Villa. You got it.
Coach
You're
Coach
good.
Villa for the Vikings. Thanks for hopping up here. What's
Sure.
one thing that you're looking forward to in this game from your squad?
It's going up against the talent that the Lone Peak team carries. We've gone up against a couple good teams, but this is by far. It's gonna push us. It's gonna stretch us. It's really gonna show us what we actually have. So I'm really excited to play against some strong talent, and I'm really excited to see how my girls handle it. Yeah.
You had the close game 2 games ago against Skyridge. What was the message in the locker room during that game, and what did you learn about your squad when it was tight?
When it's tight, is to keep the pace. You know, we have to control the pace. We have to be the ones that dictate how the game is going to flow. And that's when my girls do well, is when they control that pace. When they let the other team control it or get out of control or try to play catch up or even try to speed it up unnecessarily, that's when things start to go downhill. And so Skyridge showed us that pace that this team, I think, will show us tonight. So thankfully we have that. We have that experience from that game. So we're gonna do our best. Locker room chat, tell them to be in control of the pace. It's on you guys.
Final question before we have to cut you loose for various pregame activities. Who are you most surprised by the amount of improvement you've seen from even preseason to now or start of the season to now?
Oh my goodness. In my own team? That's crazy. Let's see. I have so much talent. Like, I was literally given this gift of like all stars. I'm always going to say I'm proud of my daughter, Sutton. She continues to grow at such a young age. But what I love, most is how well she's grown with these elite girls. I mean, these older girls who've been there, done that. They've won the championships. They've beaten the tough teams, and she's able to run alongside them and really learn and grow for them. I will point out Aaliyah Sikander. She's one of my sophomores. She's a menace on defense. She's an absolute menace, but her offense has taken a turn for the better, and she's given us points when we need them in the best possible moments. And so she has been my most improved player, definitely. I'll say that.
Hey, thank you for hopping on here before the game.
Of course.
Best of luck going against a good Lone Peak team.
Great Lone Peak team.
We will be back in about roughly 20 minutes for tip-off here in Valhalla. Welcome back to Pleasant Grove Sports Network. The proper introduction for the varsity matchup between the Pleasant Grove Vikings and the Lone Peak Knights. Should be a great contest. My name is Coleman Keel. If you missed it earlier today, the JV squads for both of these teams faced off. Vikings coming away with a big, decisive win. Before that, sophomores for the Vikings won as well by a smaller total, as we will be underway in about 3 seconds. Next time you will hear from me is the national anthem and player introductions here on Pleasant Grove Sports Network. Specialty intro for one of, if not the biggest rivalry in high school sports. Vikings versus Knights. Number 1 in the state versus number 6 underway here in Valhalla in a matter of moments. All we are waiting on is the tip-off. Won by the Vikings, Sutton Villa. Sutton working with it, gets it to Zuri already. 3, good! Zuri Nordstrom for the Vikings. Big 3 to open up the night. Corner 3 from the Knights, just a little too hard. Sutton Villa with the board. Janice Sikander, incredible tempo. What we've come to see from the Vikings all year. They're great at using the tempo as well as high-low play to open up their shooters on the wing. Whistle blows. That's going to be a blocking foul against the Knights. Believe that's going to go against number 34, Kennedy Woolston. The first foul against Lone Peak. Zuri Nordstrom gets the inbound into Janice Sikander. Janice got it down low to Sutton, somehow gets the hoop and the harm. Sutton via the incredible catch. Trying to give you another look at that. Not in time. Sutton via with an incredible play there. She gets the and one to fall. Vikings up 6-0. Less than a minute into the game. Looking to get the sweep on the Knights. Win all 3 games today. Lone Peak looking to avoid that outcome. Neither side wanting to lose to their former regional rival. 3 off the right side. Tabitha Clark comes away with it. Tabby gets it over Janice from the corner. Just short. Knights come away with it out of bounds. Last touched by a Viking. Knights will take it on the baseline. Inbound taken by, I believe that's number 20, Maddie Pope. Correction, that is number 10, Tati Harness. In the corner, there's Maddie. 3 no good. Tabitha Clark with a tough rebound. Bringing it back the other way. Guarded tightly by Tati. Over to Janice, gets it to Sutton at the top of the key. Sutton 3, just a little bit too hard. Knights had it for a second, foul called. That one's going to go against Cash Connors of the Vikings. The first foul on the Vikings on the night, 2 against the Knights. As that will definitely get confusing later. Zuri Nordstrom on defense, Janice Sikander. Knights working it around, Tati Harness with it. That's a 0-0 rather. Now Tati has it. Earlier it was Heaney Folu. Down low shot, too hard, got a little excited. Cash Connors comes away with it. Tabitha Clark up to Janice Sikander quickly. Janice got around Zuri. Deep 3, Zuri. Good! Zuri Nordstrom and the Vikings forcing the Knights to call a timeout already. Vikings up 9-0 over Lone Peak. After the early Lone Peak timeout, they take it on the baseline, down 9. Vikings went 3-point play, 3. As into the game is Leah Sikander replacing Cash Connors. The Sikander sisters, incredible for the Vikings. That 3 from the Knights, front iron, out of bounds, off of the leg of a Viking, and out of bounds, obviously. It will stay with Lone Peak. They make a quick substitution. In comes number 34, Kennedy Woolston. They get it down low, trying to work around Sutton Villa. That goes out of bounds off of Sutton. Sutton Villa and Tabitha Clark down low for the Vikings. Both great defenders. That quick 3 can't connect. And Tabitha Clark collects on the board. Up to Zuri Nordstrom. Hit the deep 3 earlier. Janice Tabby. Good! Tabitha Clark. Vikings hitting 3 threes and a 3-point play from Sutton Villa earlier. Shutting out the Lone Peak Knights early in this game. Vikings switch to a 2-3 defense. Whistle blows. Foul's going to go against Aaliyah Sikander. Knights will get it on the baseline. Electric start for the Vikings. You can feel how much everybody wants this win, regardless of the side that they're cheering for. This being a former regional rival. That 3, back iron, Janice Sikander with it. Bringing it the other way, gets it to Zuri Nordstrom. Cross-court pass, dangerous move. Tabitha Clark able to save it, gets it to Aaliyah Sikander. Sutton Villa with it near the free throw line, over to Zuri, back down to Sutton. Thought about the mid-range shot, Tabby, 3, falls! Tabitha Clark gets the Vikings to 15. And this is quite possibly the best start imaginable for the Vikings. Up by 15. Not giving up a single point defensively. Lone Peak looking like they don't know what to do. That shot, good contest from Sutton Villa. Fight for the board. Whistle blows. Looks like it's going to be a foul against Sutton. Trying to get the jump ball. Correction, it was a jump ball. Knights come away with it. We'll switch the possession arrow on the inbound. Checking into the game, Portia Bogus, number 45 for the Knights. So they get the inbounds down low, working against Cash Connors. In fact, that shot, foul called against Cash Connors. Looks like a clean block. Viking fans disagree. So it will be 2 shots coming for Bogus. Looking to break the seal on the rim, get the lid off, so to speak. First free throw, can't fall. Viking fans doing everything in their power. Bit of confusion. Lone Peak trying to make a substitution. In comes Charlie Warner replacing Kennedy Woolston. Second free throw coming for Bogus. Second shot up, can't fall. Knights still being shut out. That one goes out of bounds off of Bogus. Vikings will take it. 3:28 left. Back comes Sutton Villa replacing Cash Connors. Gonna be a fun matchup to watch down low. Villa versus Bogus. Aaliyah Sikander bringing it up the court. Being guarded very tightly. Tried to get the screen from Tabitha Clark. Knights were ready for it. Tries to get it down to Sutton Villa. Taken away, Bogus forcing the turnover. Knights going with it the other way. They have numbers for the moment. Tabitha Clark, good job defense. Zuri Nordstrom Whistled for a foul on the shot, could not fall. Knights still held scoreless 5 minutes into the third quarter, or the first quarter rather. That's going to be Zuri Nordstrom's first foul. As Bogus back at the line, went 0 for 2 earlier, looking to correct that, get up to 50% from the line tonight. First shot falls, and that is how the Lone Peak scoring will start. 5 minutes in and from the free throw line. This puts an end temporarily to the Vikings' 15-point run to open this game. Second free throw for Bogus falls. Now Lone Peak pulling out a miniature full court press, really just staying on Tabitha Clark the entire time. Do not want her to get going in any way. Already with 6 points. Tabby being guarded incredibly tightly. No matter where she goes. Foul called on number 45, Bogus, her first foul of the night. Vikings will take it on the baseline. Zuri Nordstrom to inbound. Zuri Nordstrom triggers the inbounds pass. Looked for Aaliyah Sikander. Got it into the older sister, Janice. Janice being guarded very well from number 10, Tati Harness. On Janice like a harness on the defensive side. That pass hit away by Bogus. Janice Sikander, good job getting there to force a jump ball. Do not want to give up a turnover there. Not entirely sure what Lone Peak is trying to get called. Possession arrow will switch back to the Knights following this inbound from Zuri Nordstrom. Trying to get it to Tabby. Just throws it up and lets Tabitha, to use a football reference, high point the basketball. Tabby double teamed in the paint and one! Tabitha Clark. In a word, electric for the Vikings. Already with 8 points, looking to make it 9. Vikings up big over the rivals from about 20 minutes away. Free throw no good, out of bounds, off Zuri Nordstrom. Knights will take it on the baseline. Just over 2:15 left to play. Vikings commanding this game so far. Knights looking for any kind of an answer. Tati Harness with it. Knights working it into the corner. Hit away. Tabitha Clark sends it out of bounds into her own bench. It will stay with Lone Peak for the moment, as Lone Peak will call their second timeout of the game. Already used one earlier. They'll have 3 left for the remainder of the night. And when we return, Vikings up 17-2, looking to run away with it from the former in-region rival. as we return from the Lone Peak timeout. The Viking faithful, small but loud here today. Almost said small but large. That would be a contradictory statement, as Lone Peak looking for an answer to the Vikings offense. Have not been able to get theirs going. Foul called, no shot. It's called on the ground. It's going to go against Aaliyah Sikander, or correction, that's Janice Sikander of the Vikings. Shot won't count, but the Knights will be in the bonus for the remainder of the quarter. It's the first free throw up and good. Very even game in terms of fouling from both sides, 5-4. As Knights looking to go on a run of their own. They've cut the lead down to 13. The 4-1 full court press, an unusual tactic. Vikings very familiar with going against it and how to counter it. Zuri Nordstrom gets it down to Sutton Via, one-on-one in the low post. Can't quite get the shot to fall out of bounds off of her foot. And that will make it Lone Peak basketball on the baseline. Knights get it into the high post. Vikings still in the 2-3 zone. Knights set up the correct way to counter the zone. It's that free throw length shot, good. The Knights the one on the run recently. Full court press or law of averages, I don't know. Vikings haven't gotten a shot in a minute and a half at least. Trying to get something going. Free throw length shot from Sutton off the glass. Good. Sutton Via looked like there was nowhere to go on that play. Vikings able to get the shot to fall somehow. Knights and Vikings very even to this point. The shot fake drive. Kick, that shot blocked. Sutton Via out of bounds off of a Knight, and Vikings basketball. Trying to show you that one more time. Too late to get the replay in. Believe it went out of bounds off of Maddie Pope. Janice Sikander was left alone at the three-point line. Could have been deadly for the Knights. Able to force a turnover. Under 15 seconds left in the first quarter. Corner three, just a little bit hard. Zuri Nordstrom comes away with it. Running head on fire. Turnaround three. Air ball short. And that will be the end of the first quarter. Vikings up 13. 19-6 the score when we return on PGSN. to start the second quarter. Lone Peak will have it going the other way. Vikings starting and ending the first quarter in control. Got up 15-0, ended up 19-6. Knights looking to start the offense. That shot almost got tipped. Knights get it to fall. Janice cross-court pass to Aaliyah, over to Tabby. Tabby just inside the free throw line. Can't get the shot to fall. Sutton Villa with the board. Turnaround shot. Off the glass, falls. Gets the Vikings over 20 in a wild series of events. Both teams increasing the tempo. Good defense. Janice Sikander diving on the board after getting the tip. That three, back iron out. Whistle blows. That's going to go against the Knights. Bit of an issue getting the foul in to the scorer's table. It's going to be against number 22. Maybe the scoreboard has not updated. There is no 22. That pass by Zuri Nordstrom overthrown out of bounds. As in for the Vikings comes Cash Connors replacing Zuri Nordstrom. Knights bringing it up the court, taken by Taddy Harness. Ends up with, can't swipe fast enough to see who has the basketball. Hunu Filau, number 0. That three just short. Off from Lone Peak. Janice Sikander with it. Gets it over to Tabitha Clark. The Knights not giving Tabby even an inch of room to maneuver. Tabby gets double teamed. Aaliyah left alone. Three. Cannot connect. Cash cleans it up. Fouled going back. Cash Connors will be shooting 2 free throws for the Vikings. That foul going against number 20, or not number 21, number 1, Charlie Warner. Excuse me. First free throw for Cash up and good. Vikings doing a great job matching the energy Lone Peak is giving them. Go into a full court press. They'll go into the press beating offense. Double team Tabitha Clark. She can find the open person. And this is a squad full of great three-point shooters. Lone Peak doing the same against the Vikings. Switch it into a 2-3. Blocked Tabitha Clark. Almost proving my point for me. Tabitha Clark adjusted to the backdoor cut. Blocking the shot. Wow. Tabby trying to work with it on offense. Gets fouled. And as I was trying to say, Lone Peak doing a great job in their own right, reacting to what the Vikings are giving them, switching into the zone beating offense as whistle blows on the inbounds pass, as Lone Peak trying to plead their case. As I don't see much of an appeal to it. That looks like a pass interference in football. Can't go underneath the offensive player's legs, as that would be the 4th Lone Peak foul of the quarter. Inbound taken by Sutton Villa. Whistle blows. Foul going against the Vikings. Just a weird and unusual sequence. Foul is going to go on Janice Sikander. Tried to get a replay to see what happened. Couldn't figure anything out. Got it in too late. Either way, Knights take it the other way. Vikings still in the zone. Knights working it around, trying to get it open. Shot, that one just a little too hard. Zuri Nordstrom with it. Basically all of Lone Peak in front of her. Lets the Cavalry come, gets it over to Janice Sikander. Janice has the screen from Sutton, decides to take it. Double screen from Tabitha. Good defense comes. Janice fell to the ground, recovered. Zuri Nordstrom scoops and scores. Wow. Zuri Nordstrom following what looked like a broken play. Show you that one more time. Meanwhile, in live play, Vikings get a steal. On the other end, Aaliyah Sikander in the fast break gets it to Zuri. Zuri gets it down to Janice. Off the dribble handoff from Sutton. Back to Sutton. Free throw shot. Just barely out. That was basically good until the last possible moment, and then it wasn't. Whistle blows, traveling violation. Vikings will get the basketball. As in comes Cash Connors replacing Sutton Villa. The Vikings to coin a term now, starting 6. Incredible. With the great six-man rotation, as well as the ability to shoot the lights out when they need it. Lone Peak cannot give them that much space as Aaliyah Sikander drains a 3. Cannot go under screens against the Vikings. They can hit the 3s to make you pay for it. Janice and Aaliyah Sikander great on defense. Lone Peak 3 too hard there. Shot no good on the putback. Foul called. I believe that's going to go against Janice Sikander. Correction, that goes against Cash Connors. Her 3rd foul of the night very early in this game. Some quick foul trouble, and here comes Maele Tuiasoa for the Vikings, number 11, likely to replace Cash Connors following this free throw from Porta Bogus. Cannot connect on the first shot. The Vikings with a bit of a smaller squad out than usual. Tallest player on the court being Tabitha Clark. That pass from Zuri, too hard. It hits Tabby in the hand and goes out of bounds. Tabitha Clark listed at 6'2". Nobody else on the court above really 5'11". Not even close to 6'2". The small ball offense for the Vikings. And great defense. Airballed that 3. Lone Peak saves it off of the shin of Tabitha Clark. It's the old pickup basketball tactic. It's going out of bounds, grab it and just throw it back in off of the leg of the other team. It's very effective, as we see there. Tabitha didn't realize it was going to happen until it was too late. Running floater, just a little too hard. Knights get the board. Vikings could not get a defensive rebound if their lives depended on it right now. Fortunately, Lone Peak hasn't hit enough shots to make the Vikings worry about future defensive rebounds, as in comes Sutton Villa replacing Maele Tuiasoa. Bit of height being added in for the Vikings. Sutton Villa listed at 6'6". Lone Peak working it around the three-point line. Deep shot falls, and Lone Peak gets over 10. Heading up to 12. Vikings defense giving up at the 3 there. Aaliyah Sikander drives, gets it to Zuri. Vikings trying to feed Tabitha Clark and Sutton Villa. The dynamic duo Dangerous pass. Zuri Nordstrom saved it for a sec. And in the confusion, foul is going to go against Janice Sikander. Her third foul. A lot of unusual foul trouble for the Vikings. As now we will see Amaya Kennerly come in to replace Janice Sikander. The sophomore has played in, I believe, all 3 games today. I know for a fact she played in the JV game right before this. Typical minutes for Amaya Kennerly, but still a lot of minutes. That 3 falls. Lone Peak has found their spot on the court. That left wing 3. They are proving they can shoot the lights out just as well as the Vikings can. Knights on a 6-0 run over the past, I believe, minute and a half. That foul on the Knights called against number 2, Peyton Warner. It's the Vikings in the bonus. It will be free throws for the last 2:29, or 2:21 rather. As Zuri hits the first free throw. A lot of stuff going on in this game. Vikings started off incredibly hot from deep, got up 15-0 as Zuri hits the second free throw. It's the Vikings up 30-15. Since the 15-0 start, Lone Peak has been able to answer back, cutting it. Still a 15-point game, but at one point, Lone Peak was down 17-2. As doing a much better job on the defensive end, not giving the Vikings any breathing room. Zuri Nordstrom, hard bucket there. Zuri Nordstrom with the right-handed scoop shot. That drive shot looked like a clean block from Sutton Villa. Foul called. As that is Sutton Villa's first foul of the night. Was worried for a second. That would be the third Viking in foul trouble. The first night free throw up, good. Shooting is Huni Folau for the Knights. As in comes Ruby Mosman for the Vikings. The game time decision with the lower leg injury. Second free throw good for the Knights. Aaliyah Sikander, Zuri Nordstrom, down low to Mosman, thought about the shot, dribbles it out, finds Aaliyah Sikander on the wing. Villa gets the dribble handoff. Tabby, free throw length shot, good. Tabitha Clark gets the bucket. Nobody got back on defense. Lone Peak answers immediately. As whistle blows, timeout called by the Vikings. Lone Peak going on a quick run. Vikings take the timeout. 1:06 left to play, up 34-19. Coming out of the Viking timeout, Zuri Nordstrom to inbound to Aaliyah Sikander. Aaliyah met at the three-point line. Lone Peak releasing some of the pressure on defense. Still trying to not let Tabitha Clark get going. Tabby from the mid-range, just short. Knights come away with it, working 2-on-3 against the Vikings. Good defense on the fast break, forcing Lone Peak to reset. Thought about the three. Knights working it around, take it from the left wing. Can't fall. Lucky spot has run out as Aaliyah Sikander working it around to Zuri Nordstrom. Tabitha Clark tried to get it down low to Sutton Villa, taken away by the Knights, working 2-on-1 against Ruby Mosman. That shot almost hit from behind. Tabitha Clark closing in quick. The shot will fall on the putback, and that will take us to halftime. Vikings up 34-21 over the Knights at halftime. coming out of halftime. We apologize for the awkward transition. We're trying to smooth over some recently occurring technical issues as quickly Cash Connors gets caught in a jump ball. Vikings up 13. Knights clawing their way back into this one. Vikings still in the zone defensively. Knights doing a good job working it around that three front iron. Tabitha Clark collects the rebound, Zuri back to Tabby, tough shot, just barely off the right iron. Knights with it, taking it the other way. Oh, thought about the wing three, takes it after a couple of passes, air balls. Goes right to her teammate. Tries to drive against Sutton Via, hit right out of bounds. Sutton Via down low. A great rim protector for the Vikings. Knights get it in near the wing. Take the three and connect. Knights cut it down to 10. Viking lead dwindling right before their eyes. Cash down to Sutton. Tabby down to Sutton, taken away from Cash. Knights bringing it the other way. Had it down low. It's the shot over Zuri Nordstrom to fall. Lone Peak on an 8-0 run over the past, I believe, 3.5 minutes of basketball. Vikings trying to get it down to Sutton Via. Tabitha Clark goes ISO. Janice back to Tabby, three. Connects! Tabitha Clark from deep gets the bucket, puts the Vikings back up 11. That shot just a little too hard. Vikings come away with it. Janice Sikander bringing it up the court. Little sister Aaliyah getting ready to check in. That ball tipped away. Janice recovers back to Cash in the corner. Zuri, baseline drive. Whistle blows, three in the key. 3-second violation. Believe Sutton Via not getting out of the paint in time. Knights will take it out of bounds. Trying to get that wing three open. Take it on the other side. Hits the front iron. It's off the glass out. Zuri Nordstrom up to Janice Sikander. Pumps the brakes. Finds Aaliyah. Vikings slowing it down a little. Aaliyah Sikander tried to go around the screen from Sutton Via. Tabitha Clark connects on another three. And Lone Peak will take a third time out of this game. It'll be a 30-second timeout. Vikings up 40-26 when we return. After the Knights timeout, they will take it on the far sideline. They've had some success working against the Vikings zone. That wing three falls. The Knights approaching 30. Tabitha Clark with the last 6 points for the Vikings. Lone Peak cannot let her get hot from deep. Sutton Villa from the elbow, back iron and out. Aaliyah Sikander came flying in to try to get the rebound. Knights had the lane all to themselves. Janice gets the tip out. Whistle blows. Janice Sikander a little slow to get up. Looked like her leg got landed on. As in will come Ruby Mosman to replace Janice Sikander. Inbound taken by Aaliyah Sikander. Ruby Mosman, tune-out, also dealing with a leg injury. Aaliyah gets it out to Zuri. Down to Tabitha at the free throw line. Sutton lost it on the gather. Tough shot, can't fall. Knights come away with it. Taking it the other way. Tabitha was the only one that saw the other three Knights running down the court. Good job turning around, causing some confusion, forcing the Knights to throw it out of bounds. Vikings getting it into the front half of the court. Mosman thought about the three. Down low to Sutton. Aaliyah Sikander really wanted the ball wide open. Gets the board. Sutton Villa gets the hoop and harm. And one coming. Sutton Villa gets the first two the hard way. Looking to collect on the three-point play. And one for Villa up, out just barely. And that foul going to go against Zuri Nordstrom. Tried a little too hard on the box out. Knights working it around. Drive tipped from Zuri. Recover, corner three, just short. Sutton got sealed trying to get the rebound. Couldn't come away with it. Ruby Mosman able to recover bit on trying to steal the pass away from Lone Peak. That wing three, front iron and out. Tabitha Clark with it. Aaliyah back to Tabby. Thought about the three from the wing. Zuri, deep three, good! Zuri Nordstrom gets the Vikings to 45, deep three. As the Knights cannot answer back, Zuri with the board. Full court pass to Aaliyah, almost goes out of bounds. Ballerina act to keep it in. Tabby from the wing, falls! Tabitha Clark puts the Vikings within 2 of 50. Knights call their fourth timeout. Vikings up 48-29. out of the Knights timeout. They have it on the baseline. Working on fixing our nagging camera issues. Knights take the three and are able to connect. Knights with a quick three. Down low, Mosman spinning, finds Tabby, thought about the three, gets the screen from Cash. Janice back to Tabby. Aaliyah pump faked, thought about it. Janice connects. Janice Sikander puts the Vikings over 50, 32-51. Knights working with it, looking for an answer. So far the zone working for the Vikings. Knights getting confused. That shot falls off the glass. Tabitha Clark gets it in to Janice Sikander. Janice over to Aaliyah, back to Janice. Thought about the three. Cash gets it over to Tabby. Triple team comes against Tabitha Clark. Down low to Janice. Pass a little too hard. Janice couldn't gather it. Cash working 1-on-2. Good job in the fast break from the Knights. So there are 30 seconds left and counting in the quarter. Vikings with it. Janice to Tabitha Clark. Tabby being guarded tightly. Vikings coaching is wanting a foul. Whistle blows as that will go against number 2, Peyton Warner, for the Knights. The third team foul on Lone Peak in the quarter. 11.5 remain. As in comes Sutton Villa to replace Ruby Mosman. Sikander into Connors, back to Sikander, down to Sutton, 9-8. Sutton spins, shot, falls. Villa gets the bucket, 1 second left, half-court heave off the side of the backboard, and that will take us into the fourth quarter. Vikings up 53-36 against Lone Peak, running away with the victory over the former region rival. Welcome into the final quarter of play. Vikings versus Knights. Vikings up big. Janice Sikander gives it to Tabby Clark. Goes around the screen, gets it to Aaliyah. Three, short. Rebound was with Lone Peak for a second. Able to dive on it. Good effort from the Sikanders. 4-on-1. Tabitha Clark gets the block. Goes out of bounds following the block. Great defensive effort from the Vikings, beginning with the Sikanders, ending with Tabitha Clark on the block. Knights trying to work it in the post against Sutton Via. Get it into the corner. Good job recovering by Tabitha Clark in the corner. Janice Sikander and Zuri Nordstrom playing incredibly tight. Aaliyah Sikander comes away with the steal. Working one-on-one, gets it poked out of bounds. It will stay with the Vikings. They'll take it on the baseline. Huni Folau with showing great defensive effort from the Knights with the wraparound and poke out. Zuri Nordstrom to inbound for the Vikings. Triggers the offense. Has to throw it into Janice Sikander near a 5-second violation. Down to Sutton Via and in. Sutton Via puts the Vikings at 55. Dangerous pass from the Knights. Almost went out of bounds. Knights working it around. Vikings doing a great job switching and keeping it close without enough contact to be a foul. Good closeout, Sutton Via. Fortunate bounce. Janice gets it to Sutton, out to Aaliyah. Thought about the three from the wing. Zuri will take it in the corner. High shot goes way over the rim. Sutton Via able to save it. Gets it back. Tried to get it down to Aaliyah. Got tipped. Tabitha short. Aaliyah collects. Tabitha thought about it again. Vikings get it back to Aaliyah. Reset at the top of the key. Knights begin to tighten the defense. Under 20 on the shot clock. Janice back to Aaliyah. Aaliyah tried to spin on the step through, missed it long. Knights full court pass. Get the easy lay in. Closing in on 40. Vikings lead cut down to 17. Zuri Nordstrom on the drive. Takes it near the baseline, goes out of bounds off of her foot. Vikings doing a great job controlling the pace of this game. Slowing it down and speeding it up rather on the offensive end. Controlling what Lone Peak can do on defense. Not giving up a bucket for the first 3 minutes of the quarter until I say something. Lone Peak connects on the three, gets over 40. Tabby guarded in the full court press. Whistle blows, foul called. It's going to go against number 10, Tati Harness. As Tabitha will inbound on the sideline near the N in Vikings. Gets it into Janice Sikander. Janice gets the screen from Cash. Knights do a good job switching. Cash trying to set up the post. Gets it, turns around immediately, misses, hit out of bounds off of her leg. Good defense from the Knights. Hitting it out of Cash's hand, bounced off her shin, and gets driven right by. Good offense from the Knights. Cut it down to 12, a 4-score game. Behind the back spin, Janice Sikander doing some quick bag work. Shook her defender, decided to reset. High pass, whistle blows. Foul called on the Knights. It's going to be on Maddie Pope. Vikings will inbound on the baseline. Knights making a quick substitution. In comes King and out goes Pope. Maddie Pope with 4 fouls. Inbound to Zuri Nordstrom, took the hard shot and then hits the deck harder. Got her own rebound. Foul goes against number 2. Peyton Warner, her 4th foul. The freshman, 1 away from fouling out. Tabitha tries to get it into Zuri Nordstrom. Well done. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but if it was, it was a great pass from Tabitha Clark to draw the extra foul on Charlie Warner. The 3rd foul on Charlie, Peyton Warner with 4. Charlie, the sophomore, Peyton, the freshman. As Janice Sikander to inbound. Gets it into Cash Connors, back to Janice. Trying to set it up for Tabby down low. Janice gets the screen from Cash, drives. Tough shot with the left, falls. Janice Sikander and the Vikings closing in on 60. Under 4 minutes to go. Vikings in control of this one, closing in on the sweep today of the Knights. Tried the Euro, can't get the shot to fall. Tabitha Clark collects the rebound. Janice Sikander met with a double team near the half-court line. Whistle blows. Foul is going to be on, I believe, number 1, Charlie Warner. It could be, yes, it was called Charlie Warner. Her, I believe, 4th foul of the night. The Vikings in the bonus. Will be free throws for the last 3:34 as Janice connects on the first. In comes Sutton Villa to replace Tabitha Clark. Free throw take 2 for Janice. Same result as the first. Able to collect on both free shots. Knights working it around, trying to find a soft spot in the Viking zone. Takes the corner 3, can't connect. Janice up to Sutton, over to Aaliyah, out to Zuri. Zuri slows it down. Cash takes the 3. Zuri Nordstrom off the right iron. Cash gets the rebound. Janice will dribble it out and reset the offense. Kicks it over to Aaliyah. Aaliyah being guarded very closely. Sutton gets it off the glass, can't get it. Cash rebound, good. Cash Connors puts the Vikings over 60. Knights working with it, mid-range shot. Little bit too hard. Whistle blows on the fight for the rebound. Looks like it's going to be against Cash Connors. Her 4th foul of the night. In comes Clark, out goes Cash. As to inbound, number 10, Tati Harness. Gets it in immediately. The shot immediately follows and fouled. Fouls on Janice Sikander. Her 4th foul, 2:35 left. Don't want to lose her for the Vikings. as the first free throw is good. Janice will stay in this game. Fouling out, clearly not a big issue on the coaches' minds. With Janice Sikander, she's able to play incredibly responsibly and not commit any dumb fouls that aren't needed, as that pass taken out of bounds. Zuri Nordstrom to inbound. Gets it into Tabby. Working one-on-one on Harness. Drives off the screen out to Zuri. Zuri, miscommunication down low from the Vikings. Sutton thought Zuri was going to take the shot. Zuri looked to pass it. It was off of Sutton's arm, out of bounds. Knights bringing it up, met by the Sikander sisters. Almost took the free throw length shot. That three, front iron, stays with the Knights. Working it around, wing three, front iron again, stays here again. That wing connects. Knights get to 48. Timeout called, I believe, by the Vikings, as still waiting for, the Knights called it. Their last timeout of the game. They will not be able to stop the clock for the rest of the night. 1:49 remains. Vikings up 61-48. After the Lone Peak timeout, Vikings will inbound on the baseline. Lone Peak in a full court press. Bit of confusion between the officials. Whistle blew to start the play and to stop it before anything could even get going. And with that sorted out, we will be underway. Zuri Nordstrom to inbound. Needs to get it in. There's only 5 seconds. Gets it to Sutton's. Back to Zuri. Over to Janice. Tabitha Clark was all alone for a second. Janice over to Aaliyah. Knights appear to be trying to foul. Nordstrom with it. Knights double teaming whoever has the ball. Tabby turnaround jumper, left iron out. Knights on the break, going right at Janice Sikander. Gets the bucket to fall. Lone Peak gets up to 50. Zuri Nordstrom gets it to Sutton, back to Zuri. The same inbounds play that we saw before. So far, this possession very similar for the Vikings. Get it down to Sutton, off the glass and in. Sutton via, under a minute left. Vikings up by 13. Drive, spin, shot from the Knights, short. Sutton, Janice to Aaliyah, a little too hard. Aaliyah had to go in a full sprint for it. Back to Janice. 11-second difference between the shot and the game clock, and now make that a 0.9 second difference between the shot and game clock. As Janice Sikander, 2 free throws coming. Can't connect on the first. An unusual miss from Sikander, typically very consistent from the free throw line. Second free throw up and good. Sikander puts the Vikings at 64. Knights will roll it in to save as much clock. The running floater, whistle blown on the miss. Shooting 2 for the Knights, number 34, Kennedy Woolston. Knights down 14, make that 13. 31.2 left. Second free throw up and good. Able to go 2 for 2, Woolston. Zuri Nordstrom to inbound. Gets it to Janice. Back to Zuri, up into the front court. Down to Aaliyah. Vikings looking to just run it out and end the game victorious. Out to Tabitha Clark. Knights trap. Whistle blows, foul called. That foul will go against Jamie King, her first foul. 15 and a half seconds left for the Vikings. Tabitha Clark, first free throw off the front iron. Vikings have this one well in hand, up by 12, 15 seconds remain. Up by 13, up by 12, excuse me. Will remain perfect on the year. The officials checking something at the scorer's table. Getting a look at the Vikings. They will advance to 9-0 on the year. They should remain first in the state and region with some good wins this year, beating American Fork, Skyridge, and now Lone Peak. As Tabitha Clark goes 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Knights take the 3. Back iron, Sutton tipped it to Aaliyah Sikander. Aaliyah can just dribble this one out. 3, 2, 1. And that will do it. Vikings will win this one 65-52. A big win over the former region rival Lone Peak. The sweep on the day. Vikings will advance to 9-0. Lone Peak will fall to 4-4. They will be 500 in the state, in the year rather, excuse me. As up next for the Knights, they will play, give me 1 second. They will play Bullis at 9:30 a.m. on December 18th. And then they will be in a Phoenix, Arizona tournament from the 19th to the 22nd. And for the Vikings, up next they will play at Payson on December 19th at 5:15, and then on, I believe, Saturday the 20th versus Cedar at 2 p.m. at home. As watching the post-game festivities, We're going to try to get a player or two for a post-game interview following the big win. As for the Vikings, player of the game tonight will be likely Zuri Nordstrom, number 0. Came in big when the Vikings needed her. As we will see you in Payson next time.